Good girl. You may remember I said in an earlier video how important that word is, that HEEL command is, and I said remember this. I'll tie it into you so you can see it. And this is where it comes in. It's just a doing behaviour. It is something that you were required to do. You were required to walk alongside me. Don't need to keep telling you. Don't need to keep using rewards. Don't need to keep using corrections. It just needs to become an established position in response to an established command. And it is a command. It's not a request. You know, I've said this before as well. I'm not asking you, I'm not tempting you, luring you, bribing you, coercing you or anything else. I'm telling you this is where you need to be, and that's that. And when you're in that position, we're both happy. I'll release you from it at a suitable point. But other than that, you just need to know that that's where you need to be. It really is that simple. Let's just let us trot on, see if we can get a record in a minute. Walking your dog, have that there. So as you're walking along, it just becomes habit to have it there. The reason being that should your dog do something that displeases you or something that you consider to be a potential welfare threat or a problem, the first thing it will do is blow that whistle. And when you blow that whistle, you're giving the dog a positive behaviour. It's a beneficial behaviour. It will serve you both well to have that established, and it will take away the option and the almost default of saying, no, leave it, and all that sort of thing. That does absolutely nothing for you whatsoever. It doesn't teach anything, it just interrupts. So instead of relying on interrupters, and they will become the thing that you rely upon, because it is human nature to do that. We're vocal, you know, and when you see something that you don't like, it's almost instinctive to immediately make that sound. So instead, stick this in your mouth, walk along, and when you're ready and you see something, blast it, or beep, put a stop in, whatever it happens to be. But get used to using that. Put it down here. Other than the fact that it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? When I die, I hope that whatever comes next looks like this. Coast, woodland, countryside, peace and quiet, with the exception of my family being there as well. And these hedgerows are absolutely alive with things that she's aware of and I'm not. On we go. Boring video, isn't it? But as many other people say, and as I've said on multiple occasions, most dog training is boring, which is why you see edited clips when you're showing people dog training, and then people complain that you're showing them edited clips and not the full process. The reason being that the full process looks like this, and it's dull as dirt, you know, but it's absolutely necessary. You can't force it, can you? It's got to just happen, and you've just got to be ready for it when it does, you know, to get the right things in the right place at the right time. Might even do you the courtesy of speeding this up a bit for you on the playback. Then somebody will say that I've covered something by doing that, and that's the reason I've done it. Not through empathy for your watching nothing muchness. Let's just call her back from there. Good girl, come on. Go on. Good girl. There's a few things that I want you to see about the recall there. One is that it happened, and the other thing is that I didn't reward other than with praise. So I didn't use food. And when you start to establish this understanding, when the dog starts to understand the behaviour, the food should go just as the same as with a remote collar, unless you've got a dog that is incredibly high drive, where you just say, do you know what, this really is the responsible thing, is to have this remote collar here as a backup in case of the worst thing ever happening and you being in a position to be able to control it, for somebody who perhaps isn't quite so on the button with the dog as somebody else might be. But in general, the idea is to remove tools and to remove extrinsic, if you like, external reinforcers that happen to be food or toys or, you know, extravagant sort of like interaction with one another. We just want to go out and just be. And really the whole purpose of that, the whole purpose of using rewards, using reinforcement for behaviour, is to strengthen it. But when you're seeing that the behaviour is strong anyway, and it's coming in and the reliability is there and the dog's responding enthusiastically, then I don't need to, and personally I don't continue to bombard the dog with reinforcement beyond my praise and my fuss, really, a bit of my fuss for it. But other than that, food's dropped off, toys are dropped off, you know, me bouncing around like a clown on a hot surface, that's all dropped away. The idea for that is to develop a conditioned response in the dog that this is fun for the sake of itself. Coming back, I do it because it's worthwhile in and of itself. And that's what people need to be aiming for. You know, not permanent button pushing with remote collars, not permanent checks on slips or prongs or chokes or anything else, not restraining with head harnesses, body harnesses, front clip harnesses, anything like that. The behaviour, the whole purpose of training the dog is to instill a behaviour. And once that behaviour starts to become instilled, then you can drop off with the teaching phases. It's like taking away the stabilisers on the child's bike, you know, or letting go of the hand as you approach the road, because the child now, you think you're at a position here where you really ought to understand the requirements and be doing them for their own sake. Recall, you need to come back. Heel, you need to do it just because. You'll get some praise for it, but that's all you're going to get. Now, that isn't because I'm a meanie. It's because we don't need it. We shouldn't need it. If we do still need it, we need to go backwards, and we're not at the place where we need to be yet. I'll leave you to your day, your evening, whatever it happens to be. Hopefully you've seen some value in this one, and there will be plenty more to come. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the post, share the post if you're on any other form of social media, and yeah, just keep following, and if it's good for you, give the support. Thanks very much. Bye now.